Global War 36 enthusiast here with Operation 20 Corps, turn 20.5, Commonwealth. It is January 1946. The Commonwealth has 2 tech rolls. First, I tried for advanced artillery at a 7 or higher. PB generated a 5, so I failed. Second, I tried for improved factories at a 7 or higher. PB generated a 7, so I succeeded. I advanced to stage 2. I really actually wanted the advanced artillery. I know Hambone wanted that last turn too. Okay, so purchases. Great Britain has, I think they have 43, but Boss and Bruce had them with 42. So if it turns out they have 43, I think what happened is that there was one less off of the British than people thought. But the truth is, this one IPP isn't going to matter, so I have one saved if it turns out I do have 43. I'm going to upgrade 2 militia to infantry for 4. 2 militia for 4, that's 8. 4 artillery for 16, that's 24. 1 fighter for 10, that's 34. 1 attack naval transport for 7, that's 41. And I'll repair 1 damage to the rail on the border of Rhodesia and Bucanaland for 1, that's 42, and then I'll either save 1 or not, depending on if it's 42 or 43. Purchases for FEC. FEC has 14 IPP to spend. I will get 1 militia for 2, 1 Gurkha for 4, that's 6, 1 artillery for 4, that's 10, and then I'll begin construction of an airbase in Calcutta for 3, that's 13, and I'll save 1 IPP. Anzac has 7 IPP to spend. I will lend-lease 1 naval transport to the United States for 7. All right, combat movement. There are numerous combat moves. The first will be here in southern England. 1 seaplane will fly out to Sea Zone A7, go on map, and then convoy raid. It'll be an even straight-up battle because I get +1 for the aircraft on map and +1 for radar, and Panzer J has +1 for long-range aircraft and +1 for radar. So it'll be even. Okay, next I'm going to attack Scotland, and that's all on camera. Is the naval transport down there? Yeah, okay. So I'm going to go one by one because I don't want to miss anything. All right, from northern England, 1 militia will go into Scotland. From southern England, 1 naval transport will leave port to Sea Zone A21. It'll move to A17, pick up 2 infantry from southern England, and drop them off in Scotland to conduct an amphibious assault. Thought about just attacking with the 1 militia, but if the elite airborne had 25% chance to get a hit, and then Panzer J could just fly all those aircraft over, so had to do the amphibious assault. From southern England, 1 fighter flies up to Scotland. It will land back in southern England. And then way down here in Portugal, I will have this fighter fly 1 to Sea Zone A35, 2 to A28, 3 to A21, 4 to A17, 5 to Scotland, and it will land in northern England. All right, so it'll be those 5 units versus the elite airborne there. Then I've got some movement orders for my fighters to go out on map. From southern England, 1 fighter will go to Sea Zone A6, go on map, 1 will fly to Sea Zone A23, go on map, and 1 will fly to Sea Zone A22, go on map. All right, I think that's, let me double check, make sure I'm not missing anything. Nope, I think that's it for that area. Next, we're going to attack Istanbul. From Gibraltar, One naval transport will leave port to C-Zone M2. It will, let me double check, make sure what it will do. It will pick up one infantry from Sardinia. Then it will move to C-Zone M8. It will pick up another infantry from Lower Egypt. So far it's moved 2 spaces, and its third space is to move to C-Zone M7, and then it'll drop off the 2 infantry in Istanbul to conduct an amphibious assault. From C-Zone M2, there was a transport that started the turn there. It's going to move over to C-Zone M8, pick up the other 2 infantry from Lower Egypt, and then drop them off in Istanbul. So I'm hitting Istanbul with 4 infantry so far. From Ankara, this cavalry will go 1-2 over and join the fray. From Upper Egypt, these 2 fighters will fly 1 to Lower Egypt, 2 to M8, 3 to M7, 4 to Istanbul, and they will land in Syria. They'll have a range of 2, so those 2 fighters are going to end up in Syria. This medium bomber in Lower Egypt will fly 1 to M8, 2 to M7, 3 to Istanbul, and it can come back and land in Lower Egypt. So it'll be 8 units attacking 4 units there in Istanbul. The 3 aircraft, 4 infantry, and the cavalry. Now we have an attack over here in Borneo. This seaplane will come out, it's at a seaplane base, and it'll go 1 to P-62 to P-62, 3 to P-64, go on map, and try to sink that sub. I do have anti-submarine warfare, so I'll have a shot at 5. It'll go back and land in Borneo. Now let's look at our attack on Guam. Okay, so in C-Zone P46, the Caroline Islands C-Zone, I'm going to have 2 destroyers, 1 British light cruiser, and 1 Anzac light cruiser. Those 4 ships there will move into C-Zone P43 and engage the Japanese attack transport. That's this gray unit here. I've run out of my Japanese attack transports. So I'll hit that guy there with those 4 units as my screening force. This submarine will join them in the attack. Coming from British Malaya, this torpedo boat destroyer will leave port to C-Zone P50, and then it will move over 1-2 and join the screening force. So the screening force will be 6 ships, the 2 light cruisers, 2 destroyers, 1 sub, 1 torpedo boat destroyer. That will form the screening force because it's not an automatic kill. I mean, that attack transport has a defense of 1. Hypothetically, I think it has, yeah, it has a defense of 1, right? Is it, or is it only, oh, I'm so sorry, I should have looked this up ahead of time. Yeah, it has a defense of 1, right? So I have to create this screening force to attack it. Okay. Now from C-Zone P46 in the Caroline Islands, 1 fighter is going to come out. So it starts here in 46. It'll go 1 to 43, 2 to Guam, 3 back to 43, 4 back to P46, and then 5 land on the Caroline Islands. Meanwhile, the fighter that's in New Britain will fly out 1 to P52, 2, or I guess is that P53? Yeah, 1 to P53, 2 to P46, 3 to P43, 4 to Guam, and then it will land back on the carrier. So that's what the end result will be if the fighters do survive the anti-aircraft. From New Britain, this air transport will pick up the airborne infantry and fly into Guam. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It has 7, 5, 6, 7 land on the Caroline Islands. Should it survive? You know, or if it survives the anti-aircraft artillery. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Let's see. Then we've got some naval transports. Let me just catch up on my notes here. Fighter. From P46, the light carrier, 2 battleships, and the battle cruiser will go to P43. They're the continuing force. The 2 battleships and heavy cruiser will bombard. They're at -1 because of the fortification. The British transport and Anzac transport will move down 1 space to P53. They will pick up 1. Let me see what I wrote out here. P53. No, I'm sorry, I said P53. I mean P52, right? Isn't that P52? Yeah, P52. Pick up 1 Anzac infantry from New Britain and then the 2 Marines from New Guinea. So they'll pick up these 3 units. They'll come back up to the Caroline Islands, pick up 1 more Anzac infantry, and then the third move over to P43, drop off those 4 units in Guam for an amphibious assault. And then from Sea Zone P50, this Anzac naval transport will leave port. I said it was P50, but it's actually British Malaya. It'll leave port to P50. It will have 2 Gurkhas. It will go over to Guam. Oh, shoot. That was a disaster. And drop those guys off in Guam. So I'll have 6. I think Boss and Bruce had 1 infantry, 2 mountain in there. And then I'll drop off the 2 Gurkhas in Guam. So I'll have 6 infantry class units, Guam's natural terrain. So they'll all be at 2. And then 3 aircraft, 3 bombardments, and Bruce is expecting I'll do 6 points of damage. Hambone's hoping I'll do 4, and I'm predicting 3. So we'll see who ended up being right. All right, let's see. Oh, and then one more attack from British Malaya. 2 fighters are going to fly 1 to P50, 2 to P41, 3 to Kwang Tung, do a port strike on that Japanese attack naval transport, and then 1, 2, 3 back to British Malaya. And that is all my attacks. All right, let's tee this up, see what happens. We'll start off with the seaplane. Red is the attacker, white is the defender. It's just a straight up natural flat roll. Nothing. There's 2 6s. All right. Scotland. All right, I've got, why don't I do my 2 fighters at 6? Nope. Now I've got, everything's at 1. I've got 1 militia and 2 infantry at 1. So 3 at 1. Can I get the hit the hard way? No. And he's got 1 militia at 2. Nope. All right, let's do 3 at 1. Miss. And 2 at 6. Hit. And 1 at 2. 8. Miss. Okay, so Scotland falls to 1 militia and 2 infantry. And that is worth 1 for Britain, goes up to 38, down 1. Germany goes down to 54. I'm popping 1 fighter back to Northern England and sending another fighter back to Northern England. So 1 in Southern, 1 in Northern. Okay. Oh, and I'm going to bring that seaplane back to Southern England. The one that did the convoy, the failed convoy raiding, goes back to Southern England. All right, next battle. Istanbul, which is a mountain city. So I have the 4 infantry and the 1 cavalry are all at 1. 2, 4, 5. Does he have a fortification? No, that's already been destroyed. Okay, so 5 at 1. I'll be darned, I got a hit. And then do I have two fighters at 6? Miss, and 1 medium bomber at a 7. Hit. So I got 2 hits total. He has 4 at 5 because they get a boost in the city. 4 at 5. 1 hit. So I got 2, he got 1. So I'll lose the cavalry, and he will lose an infantry. Oh, 2 infantry. So he's down to an infantry and a marine. All right, I got 4 at 1. Another hit. And then I've got the 2 fighters and the medium bomber. Okay, so I got enough hits. He's got 2 at 5. And he got a hit. All right, so I will lose an infantry and take it with 3 infantry. And that's worth 2 for Russia. I should get a rondel out. Okay, so Britain goes up to 40, and the Soviet Union goes to 56. All right, I think it's time for the all-important shore bombardment. Nope, I've got my seaplane attacking the sub in P-64. Seaplane at 5. Nope. All right, so that seaplane flies back to Borneo. And that affects 4 points. Is that right? I think it's 4 points of damage, yeah. Or 4 bonus income. Not that the income doesn't really matter. But that was a good placement of your sub, Bruce. C-Zone P-43. I've got a submarine first strike against Boss and Bruce's attack transport. So 1 sub at 3. Nope. And then I've got 2 destroyers at 4. Miss, and 2 light cruisers at 5. Hit. And he's got 1 at 2, right? What is it? No, 1. 1 at 1. These black dice have been rolling lucky on 1s. Almost hit. Almost was a 1 for a second there. All right, so the attack transport is destroyed. And now we've got the bombardment. So I've got 2 at 4 with, no, I've got 2 at 3 because the battleships get knocked down to 3 by the fortification. 2 at 3 for my bombardments. Darn it, Hambone, I'm so sorry. 1 at 2 with the battle cruiser. Oh, shoot, that sucks. All right, he's got 2 at 3, no, 3 at 3 because of his artillery. Miss, and then he's got 2 at 5 with his fortification first strikes. He really should get. Holy smoke, well, we all missed, so that is lucky. I think I've got 6 at 2. Oh, gosh. I should do his anti-aircraft first. I've got the anti-aircraft all teed up on PBE. So here goes the rolls for anti-aircraft. 9 rolls because I've got 2 fighters and an airborne. How many hits did he get? Jesus. 3 hits. I'm so sorry, Hambone. It's an absolute fiasco. Oh, horrible, horrible. Oh, that's so horrible. Okay, so the airborne doesn't even get to fire. That's why I had to do the anti-aircraft first. God. Oh, man, that sucks. Okay, so I got 6 at 2. Come on, let's get some hits. Nothing. Blanked. And then I do get the 2 fighters do get to shoot before they die. Oh God, oh God. Okay, so, oh God, I'm so sorry, Hambone. This happened, I did this to Hambone in this one game where had a chance to take Paris and win the game, and I just can't get a break. That's so unlucky. No hits, no hits. Okay, so he's got, let's do his 13 at 6 because he needs, let's see, he's already killed all my aircraft. So he just needs 6 hits out of 13. So we'll roll for 7 of them, and then we'll roll another 6. So 13 at 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. He only needs 1 more, and I'm dead. And he got 3 more. Okay, so he got 8 out of 13 hits. I got diced. All right, completely annihilated there. Devastating. Oh God, I'm so sorry, Hambone. Hope I did not lose us the game with that horrid luck there. Heartbreaking. Oh, that's really, oh man, that hurts. Can hardly think here. Okay, I got 2 at 6 in Kwangtung to try to kill the, I did get the Japanese attack naval transport in Kwangtung, and he hit me with his anti-aircraft. So 1 fighter is gone in British Malaya. All right. Oh, God. That was horrible. Horrible. Okay. Non-combat movement. Okay, from London, we will have 4 militia, 4 infantry, and 2 anti-aircraft move to southern England. And from southern England, we'll have 4 militia move up to northern England. So we'll end up with 6 infantry in southern England. God. Obscene. There's 20 units in Guam. And I was hoping to take away some of them. That may be, may have just lost the game. Okay. Gosh, there's times to get lucky and there's times not to be unlucky, you know. All right, non-combat. I think that's it for the English area. Over here in Ankara, I'm going to have the destroyer, or in C-Zone M7, the destroyer will move over to C-Zone M2. Join that task force card. No one predicted I'd do 0 hits. Okay. Try to get my mind going again. Okay, we did the destroyer. From Ankara, 1 infantry and 1 artillery will move to eastern Anatolia. Is that on camera? A little bit. Let's get it better centered up. From Lower Egypt, 1 attack naval transport will leave port to Sea Zone I-5, carrying 1 Marine. It will pick up 1 medium armor from Nubia, and then it will strategic naval move 1 to M8, 2 to M4, 3 to M2, 4 to A44, 5 to A35, drop off the Marine and medium armor in Portugal, and then go in port in Portugal. Okay. From Upper Egypt, 2 infantry will move into Lower Egypt. From Nubia, 1 infantry will strategic rail move up to eastern Anatolia. So we'll have 2 infantry there. From Italian Somaliland, 2 fighters will fly to Lower Egypt. From Aden, 1 naval transport will leave port to Sea Zone I-4. It will pick up 1 infantry and 1 medium armor from Italian Somaliland. And then it will move to 1 to I-7, 2 to I-12, 3 to I-11, and then drop off those 2 units there in Calcutta and go in port in Calcutta. We're going to have some coalescing around Calcutta. From southern India, 1 infantry will go into Calcutta. From Benares, 1 infantry will go into Calcutta. From Bengal, 3 Gurkhas will go into Calcutta. From Burma, 4 infantry will move to Bengal. From Siam, 3 Gurkhas will move to Burma. From British Malaya, 1 air transport will pick up a Gurkha, fly to Calcutta, and then fly back to British Malaya. So that'll have 1 more Gurkha added to Calcutta. And then my final move, I've got an aircraft here, a fighter in Sydney. It's going to fly up to Sumatra. So 1 to New South Wales, 2 to South Australia, 3 to Western Australia, 4 to P61, 5 to I-13, 6 to Sumatra. Disgusting. Okay, placement of units. The Anzac have delivery of Lend-Lease. Let's see, what will we be doing? Let me see how I trace this out. One naval transport will travel to C-Zone P66 here and then refresh in Samoa. Then it'll fly up to Hawaii move up to P29 and refresh in Hawaii. Then it will go through the Panama Canal and refresh there. And then it will move over to Puerto Rico, refresh there, and then it will go up to New York. And that's where it will be delivered. Might as well put it in port in New York. Oh, yeah, I can do that. I was going to say I can't do it in New England, but I can do it in New York. Anzac has 6, and they don't get any bonus income, so they will have 6 for next turn. FEC placement of units. I will start the air base in Calcutta. I build artillery in Calcutta and a Gurkha in